In 1935, Jabotinsky breaks from the World Zionist Organization to create the New Zionist Organization. 713,000 vote in its first elections, more than those who vote in elections for the World Zionist Congress that year. To vote in the New Zionist Organization requires a declaration of faith.
I support the demand for Palestine as a Jewish state on both sides of the Jordan, and social justice without class war within Palestine Jewry.
At its foundation conference, Jabotinsky says,
It seems that we are living on the edge of the abyss, the eve of the decisive catastrophe of the world ghetto, the period which Jewish tradition calls the days of the Messiah, or at least the agonies heralding his coming.
Jabotinsky authorizes preparation of a 10-year plan for evacuating 1.5 million European Jews and their resettlement in Palestine. Poland is the main target of his efforts. The country is home to 3.5 million Jews who face open hatred and government discrimination. In 1935, approximately 1 million are dependent on relief. Jabotinsky is pilloried for his evacuation talk and called an alarmist. Poland's Jewish leadership reassures the Jews that they are safe. Those who heed his warnings face stiff British immigration quotas. Of these, Jabotinsky says,
Where is it written that one may enter a country only with a visa? If I were young, I would launch a new propaganda campaign attached to a new symbol, a whistle, an ordinary tin whistle, and the slogan would be, "Whistle at their laws and the restrictions."
Jabotinsky disciple and biographer Samuel Katz writes that between 1937 and the end of 1940, 3 Jabotinsky-led organizations, the New Zionist Organization, the youth movement Beitar, and the underground Irgun Tzvai Leumi, brought between 20 to 25,000 so-called illegal immigrants to Palestine on some 40 ships. Although the British still banned Jabotinsky from entering Palestine, he has a major impact on his followers there. With a renewed outbreak of Arab terrorism in 1936, leaders of the Irgun decide to reunite with the Haganah. Jabotinsky is opposed and accepts leadership of the rank and file, which remain. The Irgun will eventually play a central role in driving the British from Palestine. The British react to Arab violence with another royal commission, known as the Peel Commission. On February 11, 1937, Jabotinsky testifies before the commission in the House of Commons. In a famous speech, he describes the difference between Jewish and Arab demands.
We have got to save millions, many millions. It is quite understandable that the Arabs of Palestine would also prefer Palestine to be the Arab state number 4, number 5, or number 6. But when the Arab claim is confronted with our Jewish demand to be saved, it is like the claims of appetite versus the claims of starvation.
Arab attacks increase until on April 21, 1938, 3 young members of Beitar take matters into their own hands. They attack an Arab bus. No one is hurt, but the 3 are caught and the British sentence one of them, Shlomo ben Yosef, to death. The Jewish world greets the sentence with disbelief. Jabotinsky throws himself into the task of saving ben Yosef. His efforts are of no avail. The British are determined to make an example of ben Yosef. He is hanged on June 29, 1938. His last words are, "Long live Jabotinsky." Jabotinsky had spent all that night in London working for a stay of execution. His wife later told friends that it was the first time in her life that she'd seen him cry. Following Ben Yosef's death, Jabotinsky orders the Irgun to renew its reprisals on a larger scale. In August 1938, Jabotinsky visits Warsaw and makes a final plea to Polish Jewry. It's the 9th of Av on the Jewish calendar, the anniversary of the destruction of the Temple in Jerusalem.
It is now 3 years that I am calling on you, Polish Jewry, who are the crown of world Jewry. I continue to warn you incessantly that a catastrophe is coming closer. My heart bleeds that you, dear brothers and sisters, do not see the volcano, which will soon begin to spit its all-consuming lava. listen to me in this 12th hour. In the name of God, let any of you save himself as long as there is still time. And of time, there is very little.
With the outbreak of World War II, Jews will be caught in a maelstrom that goes beyond anything even Jabotinsky had anticipated. Once again, he sets himself the task of creating a Jewish legion as he had done during World War I. He travels to America, but a heart ailment, which he had kept hidden for years, catches up with him. He dies visiting a Beitar camp in upstate New York. Colonel John Henry Patterson, commander of the Jewish Legion in World War I, said of Jabotinsky's death,
Vladimir Jabotinsky's last walk on earth was between the lines of young Beitarim, who awaited his arrival in Camp Beitar in Hunter, New York. They stood in military formation for his inspection. Although suffering from acute pain, Jabotinsky carried out the inspection and went straight to his room and died. When I heard of it, I could not help saying to myself that if Jabotinsky were to choose the setting for his death, it would have been something after this manner.
Jabotinsky's will instructs that he be buried where he fell, with his remains to be removed to the land of Israel only by order of a sovereign Jewish government. It is only in 1964, at the order of then Israeli Prime Minister Levi Eshkol, that Jabotinsky's remains and those of his wife are reinterred on Mount Herzl in Jerusalem. Jabotinsky's legacy lives on, a remarkable character who inspired a singular love among the Jewish masses. He continues to win admirers to this day.